Hey, what's going on, my friends? It's your man Adam A. Spencer here with another updated look at some of these changes, some of these plans that TaskRabbit is rolling out. And I know a lot of you guys had seen my previous video a few months back saying not all change is good change, really referring to a lot of those back end changes that TaskRabbit had implemented without really saying anything to us, but a lot of us taskers, especially those of us who have been here for years, we've definitely noticed that they made some tweaks to the algorithm, and some people are not showing up as prominently as often as they used to, despite having pretty much the same, you know, number of positive reviews, same type of rating, same rates. Nothing really has changed, but all of a sudden, people aren't being shown as much. People aren't getting hired as much here on TaskRabbit. And in this video, I'm going to kind of speak about, what I previously said and how this is kind of confirming what I was saying before, and that all change is not necessarily good. Now, of course, I'm still on TaskRabbit. I'm still optimistic. I'm still hopeful that things will work out. But as we dive into this email, to give you guys an update. You probably, if you are a tasker currently on the platform, you have received this email most likely by now. It says, "Hi, Adam. One of our biggest priorities is to help you get more clients." That's not true. Their biggest priority is making money. If their biggest priority was helping me get more clients, they wouldn't have changed the algorithm, which I had no problems with before, and things were going fine. All of a sudden, with these tweaks, business on TaskRabbit is not flowing like it was because of where my rate is. But again, let's dive into this email a little bit more. It says, "And we've heard your feedback about wanting more clarity on how to ensure you appear in search results. So, as a result, we've made updates that will help you increase your profile visibility and potential to get more jobs. We'll also soon be replacing your Tasker metrics with a new and more robust set of Tasker analytics. Together, these new features will offer clearer search result placement. Your position in client search results is now based on your past performance and how closely you follow pricing guidelines. In recent test results, we've seen that taskers who follow pricing guidelines guidance earn 10% more than those who don't." Now, I'm going to throw in my 2 cents here. The thing that TaskRabbit is very deceiving about is when they'll say statements like that. "Oh, in our recent test results, we've seen that taskers who follow our pricing guidance earn 10% more than those who don't." Well, it's because of the recent algorithm changes TaskRabbit implemented that no longer shows some taskers who have their prices high. So by you following their new guidance where they're saying lower your rate, cut it in half, depending on your area, depending on the services, it varies, it differs. But literally, I'm pretty sure if I look at what TaskRabbit is telling me now as a what is a good rate, where your color indication will be green. Well, I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be like literally my previous rate, my old rate, where I was getting booked no problems before they made these algorithm changes, no issues at all. Once they made those changes, I kind of fell off the map in terms of how frequently I was getting booked. So when I hear them say the rubbish like this, in recent test results, we've seen that taskers who follow pricing guidance earn 10% more. Yes, because you guys all of a sudden aren't showing previous taskers who you would have shown despite their rate being higher than what your guidance was suggesting. But let me keep going. More tasker profiles. Clients will see a higher number of relevant tasker profiles, which means more potential for you to show up in search results, stand out, and book tasks. Opportunity insights. Once your new tasker analytics are live, you'll see how much potential you have as a tasker based on current market demand. In market comparisons, get a pulse on how you stack up against other taskers in your area. Put simply, the more tasks you complete with great reviews after appearing in search results, the higher you'll place going forward. So they actually have a link to a blog post here, and I'll dive in there, and it pretty much reiterates what we've just touched on. But again, put simply, the more tasks you complete with great reviews after appearing in search results, the higher you'll place going forward. So again, it's such rubbish what they are doing. I made it this point in my previous video. There was one or two people who were like, oh, no, it's just, TaskRabbit. No. And they didn't even respond to my responses because I think they knew I was right, in the sense that TaskRabbit continues to follow the leadership, which is, their new CEO, newest CEO, who, as I mentioned before, came from Uber, who came from Walmart, places that don't have the best reputation for how they treat their employees, for how they treat their workers. That's who currently runs TaskRabbit. So all of these algorithm changes that we've seen over the past year, well, that most likely is her doing. Now, I'm not one to say, oh, it's all her fault, but again, it's strong indication that prior to this CEO taking over, these algorithm changes weren't as problematic as they are now. Yes, TaskRabbit always makes changes every few years, every once in a while, but I have literally heard from a number of elite of skilled, talented taskers who have been on the platform here in Boston for years and had not previously experienced the same kind of struggles they are currently witnessing now because of these changes that TaskRabbit has implemented. Again, when you have someone that's been in those other companies who's going to try to replicate or, at least make some kind of business model that resembles something somewhat comparable to those other companies, that is not good for us taskers. Now, am I still here on TaskRabbit? Yes. Have I given in to them and lowered my rates? No. Has business on TaskRabbit slowed down as a result of it? Yes, absolutely. So when they say, oh, follow our pricing guidance now and you'll earn 10% more than those who don't, I kind of believe that now because they literally are enforcing it where, the quality, the level of work that TaskRabbit's probably going to produce, over the next year or 2 years might take a hit because of these changes that they're basically forcing on taskers. And many people don't want to lower their rates. Many people are like myself, where we're like, whoa, I've worked hard to get to this point. My rate's not where it is for no reason. It's because I deserve it. And now TaskRabbit's kind of punishing us. Those same people that we previously would have been shown with the same quality of reviews and ratings and price rate, pretty much literally the same. My rate hasn't changed, but all of a sudden not being shown and presented to prospective customers on TaskRabbit's platform any longer. So I am personally not a big fan of what TaskRabbit's doing, how they're, how now they're trying to make it out like, oh, we're going to give you these new analytic tools to help you get more insight into everything that's going on. And it's like, we already know what's going on. Y'all have completely botched a proven system formula that has worked effectively for years and has helped TaskRabbit to make a tremendous amount of money. And at the same time, it's helped individuals like myself and other freelancers to make a good amount of money as well. Now with these new changes where TaskRabbit's like, hey, we want to get greedy. We want to keep more money. And that last sentence, put simply, the more tasks you complete with great reviews after appearing in search results, the higher your place going forward, just reminds me of they literally want you to complete as many tasks as possible. By increasing your rate, that's going to obviously put you in a position where, if we took out TaskRabbit's algorithm changes, there probably wouldn't be a difference in terms of, like business wouldn't have slowed down is what I'm saying. I'm sure business would still be booming as effectively as much, if not more, than what it was a year ago on TaskRabbit. But because of these new changes, it's not working out so much the case. And, I'm fortunate, I, on this channel, I do try to share with you guys other ways that you can grow your business. So yeah, it might be a TaskRabbit business, but you can make money elsewhere, right? You can provide those same services off of TaskRabbit as well. And that's what I'm going to continue to preach and continue to push. And if anything, this email and these new changes have motivated me to get back on this channel and start creating more content again, because I feel like TaskRabbit is going to be letting a lot of people down this year, unfortunately. Now, that said, you can still make good money on TaskRabbit. You can still do really well here. And, I'm still optimistic. I'm still hopeful. But, I'm just not a big fan of a lot of these changes that they've started to or continue to implement and roll out. And, I'm anxious to see this new TaskRabbit analytics, Tasker analytics. I'm anxious to see how, what they show, right? I'm anxious to see, where it's going to say, oh, your rate should be for moving heavy furniture here in Boston. Not in, Indiana, some random city town in Indiana. No, I'm in Boston, a major city. There's money here, a lot of competition, a lot of talented individuals. Your rate for moving shouldn't be peanuts, but we'll see what TaskRabbit is trying to, you know, force on us and say this is where it needs to be if you want to get booked, or at least be shown, be displayed. Because yeah, I think there's just a lot of rubbish that we're just, they're feeding us and showing us, and it's like everything I said in that previous video pretty much has continued to pan out as I was saying, and these type of actions from them kind of, to me, confirms what I was saying before, that it's rubbish. They're trying to kind of cover up the BS, and oh, we're giving you these, we heard you guys, we know you guys want to see what's going on and why you people aren't, like, I don't think TaskRabbit can give any hoots about any of us, to be honest. This is what this is showing me. I think that the current leadership is gonna continue to push TaskRabbit down the toilet. It's gonna keep you in a place where you're not going to be able to do as well as I think people have been doing over the past few years. I think that's what they are realizing. They're seeing, oh, people are making really good money here. Let's limit that potential. We want people to make solid money, but not like amazing money. And especially if it means us making less money. Because when TaskRabbit, and this is something I need to sit down and do the math on, and actually try to figure out, like, if it's, I can't remember if they make money like in a percentage base, or if it's just off of a set like number. In other words, would it be better? My assumption is, especially based off of these changes, that they are trying to go a volume route, where they would rather have you work a dozen jobs a day instead of only 3 jobs a day, but your rate is higher. Instead, they would say, so if there's 2 people, if there's John over here who charges $50 an hour, and then there's Chris over here who charges $25, well, they would rather have Chris do a lot of jobs, even if the money ended up equaling the same. They would rather have Chris do as many jobs as, the brother over here making 50, because again, they want us out there with the lower rate working more, right? And they literally are saying it down here. Put simply, the more tasks you complete with great reviews. Well, I have good reviews. I have a 5-star average, and I've completed hundreds and hundreds, of jobs, almost 1,000 jobs in total. But yet, there will be a tasker who has nowhere near as many reviews, and his rating won't be as good. But because his hourly rate is literally, a third cheaper or half as much, they will promote him over me or over that other individual who, again, might have better reviews, more jobs completed, but because their rate is high, they will not be shown first. To me, this is all, I'm not a fan. I don't like any of it. If anyone at TaskRabbit is listening, please relay this to your CEO and leadership team that Adam A. Spencer does not approve of these algorithm changes. Now, in all seriousness, I know I'm not the only one who doesn't approve of these changes. I've actually heard from other taskers who said that they've literally written the CEO, a direct message on like LinkedIn, for example, places like that, where they're like, hey, we got nothing to lose at this point. And, maybe the CEO will hear from enough people that actually use the platform, that make a living off of the platform. And that maybe, they'll come around. And I'm like, come on now. You really think the CEO is going to read your message and say, oh, there's a tasker in Massachusetts who isn't making as much money now. Maybe we'll change the algorithms for them. No, they don't care about us. They want their money. And that's what it comes down to. It's unfortunate. It stinks. And I hate to say it because I love TaskRabbit. I've made really good money off it. And I've helped a lot of people who need help, right? That's the beauty of what we're doing. We're able to help people and in return make, money. Well, yeah, these changes are not, I'm not a fan. Now, I'm not really going to go into this article. I'll post a link to this. This is really just, it's supposed to be meant for US taskers only right now. I'm excited to see some of these changes and how it potentially is going to look. I'm anxious to see if it's actually going to help with being able to get more insight into where other people stand. It says average search position. You can see that. You can see search result appearance. You can see you were shown more than what percentage of other taskers. I think stuff like that is going to be helpful. It's going to be critical. It's also going to be interesting because I think what TaskRabbit's kind of trying to do when they do this is make it more of us competing with each other so that the lower rate issue won't be as much of an issue. I think by us seeing other people head on head where, oh, I'm fifth right now in the average search position. Well, to get fourth or number one, then that means I have to improve one of these things. And, I can't change my rating on my own. I can do more jobs, but again, that's going to be contingent upon someone booking me. But the only thing I do have influence of or control over is my hourly rate. And that might incentivize someone to say, you know what, I want to show up number one. So they're going to lower their rate maybe. So, getting this insight will, I think, be helpful. But as a whole, I think this is something that they're doing for TaskRabbit and to help them with trying to convince people why they should lower their rate, right? That's what I feel like this is doing. I think it's just like more rubbish that they want to throw in the mix to kind of, again, take some heat off of what really is taking place here, which, like I said, it goes down to the algorithm changes that TaskRabbit has implemented and continues to implement, and it's rubbish. That's how I personally feel. Like I said before, not all change is good change. I'm sticking with it. The changes that TaskRabbit has continued to implement, I think, is trash. And yeah, I mean, I'm still here. My rates are still where they were. I'm not getting booked nearly as much as I was, but I'm fortunate that, I do have professional sales and marketing experience, come from the corporate world, and it gave me, it's allowed me to thrive where my business is lacking here with TaskRabbit this year so far for 2022. Well, luckily, my direct business has accounted for more than what I've made from TaskRabbit, and I don't have to cut my prices in half so that I can be shown here on TaskRabbit. I might do it at times where I'm like, you know what, I want to fill up my schedule this week, or I want to make extra money, and I'll have to lower my rate a bit so I can try to get some extra jobs. But as a whole, it's like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it as a whole. And I'm anxious to see this Tasker analytics at work and to see where what suggestions it's gonna have for someone like myself, where I've worked my butt off. I've done, like I said, almost 1,000 jobs, 5-star rating, pretty much. Yeah, I'm anxious to see this Tasker analytics tool and if it's gonna actually make a difference. But what do you guys think? Do you think Tasker Analytics is going to make a difference? Do you think it would help? Do you agree that Tasker is continuing to go the wrong way? These changes that they've rolled out, do you think they're for the better or for the worse? I'm anxious to hear what you guys think. Comment down below. I'm always looking for some encouragement, someone that can help, say I'm wrong, help prove me that I'm wrong, and say, no. All this stuff is for the better. It's for the good. It's going to work out better than how it has over the past few years. Yeah, if that's where you stand, definitely comment. Let me know. Prove me wrong. Help convince me that TaskRabbit is still the best gig app on the face of the planet when it comes to making money and creating your own schedule, being your own boss. Let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. And while you are down there, don't forget to smash that like button. I do appreciate you guys watching. And also subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Then you can stay up to date on all of my latest and upcoming video content. But all right, my friends, much appreciation for watching. You already know I gotta keep it moving, but I'll see you in the next video. Peace.